am so excited to moderate this panel. My name is Drew Jones from AfterBuzz TV. Today we have the Eyes of Esca producers and stars coming to the stage. We have Percy Miller, aka Master P, Cymphonique, and Romeo Miller. You guys give them a round of applause.
What up, what up? How y'all doing? Looking good?
Y'all look good, yes.
So, the Eyes of Esca. Can you guys just give us a little breakdown of what this is all about? Because this is completely original.
So, wait, pause. Before we get started, can y'all say, make them say, All right, we good now.
Before we start, I want to welcome everybody to LA Comic-Con. This is amazing. I love all y'all costumes. And Cymphonique gonna break down what Eyes of Esca is really about. Tell them.
Well, Eyes of Esca, this is something, a concept that we have really been cultivating, and it is from such a genuine place. It is by no means a gimmick. It's actually based on a scientific theory of the mimic octopus, which blows my mind. There still really isn't a scientific explanation for it, but they can change their shape, they can change their color, they can change their texture, and the mimic octopus can shuffle its DNA like a deck of cards. It's amazing. So basically, all the characters in the Eyes of Esca are shapeshifters, and that's the basis of it.
And it takes place in New Orleans.
Yes.
I want to let y'all know it takes place in
Yes.
New Orleans. When you talk about Comic-Con, and you talk about LA Comic-Con, what's so important? You see all these big comics. Everybody has a magical thing in their brain that they want to get out. For us, it was like, this is about ownership.
Yes.
This is about us taking charge and bringing these characters to life. So when you see these characters, we bringing them to life. This is about ownership. We come a long way. And we said that, you know what? There's a lot of big characters out there, but in our mind as a family, as the Miller family, we said we're gonna take charge and we're gonna create our own comic series. And also a motion picture, which Eyes of Esca is a movie.
Yeah, and like my pop said, I think the most important thing for us, even me starting so young in the industry, you know, and being African American, being black, I've always wanted to show the real world. The world is full of many colors, right?
Yep.
And I want to make sure every little kid who's watching, whether you're white, you're Chinese, you're from India, you're from here, you're from space, everybody feel like they got a place here. And that's what this is about. You know, Eyes of Esca is just the beginning. We have so much more that's coming along with this, but we want to show the world that every superhero is colorless, and that's what the world is. You know,
Yes,
it's a big world.
representation matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Representation is so important, diversity, and now we're starting to see more representation on the foreground and see different colored actors and see a full African American cast. But now, how about on the business side? How about behind the scenes?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And speaking, being able to narrate it ourselves, you know?
Well, it's about building your brand.
Yes.
People don't realize we all can build brands. We want to be in business, we have to build a brand. Our brand is Vim Comics. Vim Comics, you go to vimcomics.net to look at all the projects that we have out. But we're going to bring the characters that we have from Eyes of Esca up here so you guys can see them. Can we bring the characters out right now from Eyes of Esca? Y'all give them.
Can we bring them out?
This is our creation right here.
I just want to let you guys know I'm one of the good guys, okay? I come in peace.
Right there.
These are our characters right here. This is Eyes of Esca right here. And y'all give these guys a round of applause.
And the cool thing about this is the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, this is history. Y'all being right here, this is
Yes.
a part of history.
So I want to tell everybody that's out here, after this, our booth is 2100. We got free t-shirts for everybody that come over to that booth 2100. We're going to make sure y'all get some free t-shirts. We want y'all happy for the what?
Yeah! Huh? What, y'all don't like free t-shirts? Come on now.
So y'all come But let's go back. Anybody have any questions?
You right there in the front.
Yes.
Hey, Romeo, it's great to meet you because, you know, a lot of us grew up
Sure.
with
Give
you.
him the mic here.
We have somebody down there. He could catch it. Toss that.
Be careful.
That one.
Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Hey, Romeo, it's great to meet you because, you know, I grew up with you and, of course, a lot of millennials, too. Anyway, I wanted to ask, did working on the Static Shock cartoon, like, influence you to want to grow up and want to work in comic books or make your own superhero?
Yeah. Wow, you a real one, you know. So I actually did the theme song for Static Shock back in the
Yep.
day. I think I was around 11 years old. And if you follow my Twitter from day one, it always said my job occupation was to be a superhero. Everybody's like, Ron, what are you talking about? You're an actor, athlete, you're not a superhero. But growing up, I've always wanted to be this superhero in a way where I could make the world a better place and help people. And that's why I always, you know, wanted to work on shows like Static Shock. I did a couple other shows, and then for the past 10 years, I created my own series called The Dream. I don't know if any of y'all heard of The Dream, but I've been working on it for 10 years now, and that's always just been a big part of my career, that superhero essence of it. So, you know, with my family being here, I was like, we just need to make our own comic series and make it so everybody could enjoy it, where everybody could see a reflection of themselves.
Yes.
Because as a little boy, I remember I asked Dad, I'm like, Dad, why don't Batman look like me? Or some of my other friends, you know? So I just wanted to make characters that everybody could relate to. And once I was going to be able to be on that platform, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what we're doing here now. So.
Anyone else? Questions? Well, I actually have a question for you, Cymphonique. I
Oh.
saw a video of you training because you're playing Jade.
Yes.
What, like, how are you prep? Like, how did you get into the role? Because it looks pretty intense.
How did I get involved in kickboxing, or?
What did you have to do to prepare to be Jade?
Oh my gosh, a lot of self-discipline, a lot of research and self-discipline. I'm really fascinated by Earth itself. Like sometimes I'll just watch BBC, or I love to watch Discovery Channel. And there's so many things in nature that are so beautiful. So I like to study the movements of the Earth. And I love kickboxing. I used to compete in tournaments when I was 12 years old. And really, honestly, I see why people get characters like
Nick,
tattooed
just
on
tell her the
themselves.
truth. You're a real life superhero, okay?
So, I mean, it really is all about empowerment, you know, and that's what I love about being able to kickbox, and self-discipline as well. Power is not always aggression, but it is self-discipline and consistency. So that's what I mainly have learned.
I love it. Romeo, you're playing Roy, right? What went into that role for you?
Picking the brain of my little sister because she created the whole thing. But for me, like I said, I've always grew up idolizing superheroes, you know, whether it was Static Shock, you know, Superman, you know, Batman, you know, Spider-Man. I think as a little kid, we all have that superhero in us. So for me, it's just comparing all the greats and trying to just put together what makes the best you. And like I said, this is created by my amazing sister. You don't see too many young girls out there who's like, look, I don't want to just play a character. I want to create characters for my family to play, for other people to play, and make opportunities for people. So for me, thanks for just giving me the job, Cymphonique.
Well, what I'll say about Romeo, why I'm glad to have him on the team and why he's always had my back, is because he wears many hats. You know, you only see him on camera, but he actually is a very hard worker, and he takes time to sit with creators and say, okay, this is how I want the hair to look, this is how I want the physique to look, this is the world that it's going to be in. So I'm very excited and honored to be working with him as well.
It's a family dynasty right here.
Let's talk about the family dynasty, because I feel like the Millers, when you guys get into something, you give it 100%. How do you walk into a new project? Like, what makes you decide I'm gonna, you know, throw my hand?
Well, for me, it's the diversity. When you look out and you see who own these comics and who own these movies, we saying there's not too many people that look like us. There's not too many minorities, there's not too many women-owned business. So we said we want to take advantage of that and do this for our culture, do this for our people. It's not a,
Do it for everybody.
this is not a new millennial style type of characters that we can all relate to. And we
Right.
feel like that's what we have created.
Yep.
We want to do something for this new millennial, for people that want to just be themselves.
Right.
People that want to be superheroes. This is the Miller family superheroes. That this is what you guys are
And
experiencing.
what I love about my dad is that he's a pioneer. So sometimes, you know, things in the beginning that people won't fully see the vision, but he sees the vision before it's in place. So he saw this a long time ago before we ever came on this
And to
stage.
speak on
So-
vision, a lot of people have the vision, but they don't have the tools or
Right,
the
right.
mind frame or the heart
The
or the belief
education,
in
all
themselves
of
to
that
really
has to
make
come
it happen.
together.
And that's what this man's superpower is. He gonna make it happen. I don't care if he have $1 or $1 million.
Right.
His life story is a testament
Right.
of making it happen. No limits.
Well,
Truly.
and I think that's about everybody that's out here today. You don't need a lot of money to start your
Nope.
own business. You know, I started my business with $10,000. So, you know, some people started their business with $200, $500, $1,000. So take that, whatever you have, and chase those dreams and the goals. You have to invest in yourself. I tell people all the time, you are your best investment.
Yeah. How do you keep the Miller brand like authentic? How do you keep it to where people look at it and they know that's y'all?
Well, the Miller brand for us, we think outside the box. I mean, we wouldn't be here creating superhero characters because we come from the streets, we come from nothing, we come from poverty. But you got to think bigger. You got to think outside the box. And I'm saying, if a little kid in the ghetto can create some superheroes, then we all could make something happen. I mean, George Lucas is just a human.
Right.
He created Star Wars.
Right.
So we all are humans, so we all have vision, we all have ideas.
Yeah, and
Why
something
not
that-
bring them to life?
And something I want to say about my pops has always stuck with me. The main quote, he always said, if they could do it, we could do it too.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's always stuck with me
Right.
as a little kid.
So, I mean, I think it's enough room out here. You see Marvel Comics, you see all these other companies out here. Why not Vim Comics? Why we can't be the next
Right.
big thing? You know, so we got to support us. That's what it's about, us supporting us.
And it really is making history because even with Star Trek on TV, people don't know that Martin Luther King actually helped influence Star Trek, and that was the first
Yeah.
interracial kiss ever on national television. So, you know, it's so much more than just a comic or a movie. Like, this is our culture. And what I love about these two is that they always make sure that we're giving back. And even in the story, in the Eyes of Esca, it takes place in New Orleans. That's where we're from. That's
Yeah.
where my dad made it out of. You know what I'm saying? So we're always making sure that we never forget where we come from.
I love it. Give them a round of applause real quick. That was good. So, you got Romeo, you started very young. I remember the Little Romeo show. That was my joy as a kid.
You had good taste as a kid, that's all I gotta
You know,
say.
you know. How did you, because I feel like your all's family has been able to go from childhood to adulthood fairly seamlessly. Like, we haven't heard, you know, anything bad about you guys. You guys have, it's only been good. How do you go from being a child star to, you know, an adult?
Yeah, they have this thing you could Google called the child star curse. It's real. Because what happens is when you start off early in an industry that's made for adults, you have no other option, sadly, but to crash and burn once you reach your height, right? So I always tell people, it's like, for example, take like a Justin Bieber, somebody who's super successful at a young age. They make so much success that's, let's say this is the top. And then you have another kid who's in high school and their success may just be, you know, right here or just getting good grades. And then you got this other kid, Justin Bieber, got to get good grades and go tour the world. Sometimes child celebrities think that when they fail, that it's over. And that's what I just want to show the world. You know, failure doesn't mean that it's over. That's just another learning lesson. But as a child star, you're just used to perfection. And that's what I learned from my pops. I was privileged enough to have somebody who instilled in my mind that I don't care how much success you have, how much money you have, you're going to fail. And the world is going to look at you a certain way and think that it was easy for you. But still, don't let them see you sweat. It's never going to be easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So it's more of a mind frame, but you have to know what you're getting into. And I knew that as a little kid. And it goes back My dad probably thought it was crazy when I was 3 years old talking about, Dad, I'm a superhero, I need my wings. I thought I was a superhero as a kid. Like even when I was training, my cousins would be like, why are you so intense? Like I'll imagine, you know, I'm the Hulk or something. And then once I'm done, I come back to being a human. But I've always had this mind frame of, you know, never giving up and knowing that it's not going to be easy. And that's what happens as a child star. You got to realize as a kid, if you're used to having success, that one time you fail, the world's going to laugh at you, people are going to mock you, and then you're going to start questioning yourself. Never question yourself. That's anything in life.
I also want to put it into that too. I think the reason of our success is we're not perfect. We're not a perfect family. We don't look at being perfect, you know, as our careers go on. But also by putting God first. We always put God first, and I feel like when you do that, no matter what you go through, you can overcome it. Right. So I feel like that's, when you talk about the Miller family, you talk about our success. Success comes and goes. It goes up and down. Right. People have money, they lose it, they make it back.
I mean, did Superman die? Superman died, right? Came back.
So you got to realize that in success, things are going to happen.
Right.
But it's what you do when you bounce back.
Right.
You know, what you do that you don't have nothing to prove to people. And that's what I love about these characters and being a superhero. Everybody can be a superhero, but now we know nobody's is perfect. But you got to know right from wrong. So I feel like with my family, we have to teach that to our kids too. As parents, stop being these kids' friends and start being a parent. And that's been my biggest success, being a parent to my kids.
Well, we have to
answer that question again too. You said, how did I stay out of trouble? Once again, have you ever seen me and Batman in the same room? Maybe a superhero, that's all I'm saying.
Lord.
We have to wrap up, so I have one more question for you guys. 5 years, 10 years from now, where do you want to see Vim Comics?
Vim Comics, we want to be at the top of our game. And it's just about growing. In the next 5 years, whatever it takes, we have the Eyes of Esca movie coming out now. To being able to have these amazing superheroes, we want to be.
Man, we trying to have everybody dressed up as our characters too, as our superheroes. Like we want this to have a global impact on the world.
Next Halloween, this is how it's gonna be. You know, in 5 years from now, there's no limits for us. I feel like this.
I want to see the world of Nautilus and Eyes of Esca come to life. That's what I see in 5 years.
We'll give them a round of applause.
Thank you guys
Thank you guys so much. And you guys can see them.
2100 is our booth.
Booth 2100.
If y'all come over there, we got free t-shirts for y'all. As they last, we're gonna make sure everybody get one. All right,
So,
so
Pop,
And free hugs from Romeo.
No, I got another very important announcement for the ladies. If any of y'all are dressed up as Juliet, come to our booth, 2100. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh.
That's for you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Romeo. Thank you.
pass these out.
All right, I'm about to kick things up.
Thank you. Love you.
Howdy, baby. Master P over here.
Thank you, Thank you, Romeo. Love you. Romeo, you see this.
I want to ask that Elijah what.
Want to snap a pic?
Got your back, Romeo.
Look, if Beyonce or somebody call, just, to the left, to the left.
Okay.
Can you pass that to him for me? Or you can catch it, I got faith.
Okay.
All right. I'm doing super.
All right. Sorry, Romeo.
It's all good.
Got it. Let me get in the middle.
There you go. One more? Get some room.
Y'all ready?
One more?